Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Welcome. Good day. Welcome to Transformation Tuesday. Good to be here with you again. I'm Liz Forrest, a Master Shamanic teacher, coming to you from New Mexico. Who is with me today live or in the replay? Please say hello in the comments. Love to have you here. Okay, so how are you being creative in these times of increased anxiety around the crisis of the times that we are in presently? How are you being creative? If you'd like to put that in the comments. How are you being creative? And how can being creative help keep us grounded? Grounded and connected to our spirituality, to Creator, to the divine, however you talk about that with yourself. How does being creative keep us connected in that way? So creativity is what I'd like to talk about today. Creativity for our pleasure and for our well-being. Yeah, being creative is very pleasurable, and it also really helps with our well-being overall. And that first benefit, in my experience, is when we engage in creative activities like art or music or writing or cooking or sewing or gardening. I mean, creativity is limitless, no? What's yours? What is your creativity? I have a few. I am a writer, and I also love to garden and create beautiful gardens. I love to create beautiful meals. Those are a few of mine. What are yours? And when we're engaged in our creativity in whatever way we choose, this helps to focus us away from the stressful thoughts and into the present moment. Yeah, would you not agree? We're in the present moment when we're creating something. And so in the shamanic practices that I practice and have been teaching for all these years, that's one of the very first things that we learn how to strengthen, is how to redirect our energy into a more positive state rather than feeding the stress, the anxiety, the worry. Yeah, we learn how to redirect our energy. That doesn't mean ignoring what's going on. No, it means staying in our awareness. It does mean directing our energy into a more positive state, because that's more helpful, right? It's more helpful than feeding our energy into the stress or the anxiety or the concern. Yeah, and when we're being creative, our focus is totally present. Yeah, we're right here in the moment doing whatever it is that we are doing. And another really wonderful thing about creativity is that it's another great way of expressing our emotions that may be difficult to express in words, right? Having a creative outlet gives a sense of purpose, helps us to express our emotions if we can't quite articulate what it is that we're feeling or what we're going through. And when the project is finished and we step back to admire it, it boosts our self-esteem. It makes us feel good, doesn't it? That's certainly true for me. When I step back and have a look at what I've created, it really gives me a full heart and gives me a sense of purpose and where my energy is going, rather than into the stress or the worry that might be hovering around. And another opportunity to embrace creativity is when challenges show up. I had a recent experience, which I'm still kind of in, with a big challenge in my world. And after allowing my initial response of upset to the challenge, allowing my feelings, yes, not rejecting them, I got creative. And I'm in the process of my creativity coming to fruition in a completely different way than I expected. So by opening to my creativity, I shifted. I shifted from the challenge perception to seeing it as an opportunity. And we can all do that. Again, it's like redirecting my energy. It's also kind of reframing in my perception the challenge into more of an opportunity. So instead of seeing it as a challenge or a negative burden, we get creative. Yeah, we get creative and we consider it a chance to grow and develop creative solutions rather than, succumbing to the problem. So let it fuel your innovative thinking rather than the opposite. Yeah, to get creative with whatever challenges might be showing up. And this last suggestion I have, which I've learned from artists in all different modalities and in life, but really this took me a while to get, and maybe it's true for you too. The last suggestion I have is to embrace imperfection. For all of us out there who maybe have been perfectionists or are still working with that, to embrace imperfection. Don't strive for perfection in your creative project, in your creative overcoming challenges with creativity. Don't strive for perfection, especially when we're under pressure, right? That just applies more pressure. So we simply focus on the process of the creation that you're involved in and see what happens. Be open, be curious, see what happens with what it is that you're creating for yourself. So I always love to hear what you can offer in the comments about how you express your creativity, what you're noticing in these times of increased anxiety, worry, concern. How are you balancing your well-being with being creative? What are you up to? So please put in the comments if you are willing to do that. Always love to hear from you. And thank you for joining me today. And I will see you here next week, Tuesday, Transformation. Enjoy the rest of your day. I send you all my love.